Gender-based violence in the context of academics. The segment that I want to focus on is that how does gender-based violence affect school-going children? What I'm going to look at firstly is that when a child is experiencing gender-based violence in form of the violence that is happening at home, either the parents are fighting or the children are fighting amongst themselves, or the parents are fighting the children, normally it affects academic performance of a child at school, and it also affects the extra curriculum performance of the child at school. So as a result, gender-based violence have got a compounding effect on the ultimate performance of the child in terms of the final examinations and the future of the child, in the sense that the child may fail to attain the results that the child is supposed to get, and also the victim of a gender-based violence sometimes will end up being the perpetrator of gender-based violence as a result of normalizing the situation that is happening to him or her. Right. The second form of violence that I want to talk about is the violence that happens at school between or amongst school-going children. Sometimes children tend to have conflicts between or amongst themselves as a result either of boyfriends or anything of some sort. That sort of violence will tend to be sometimes causing injuries, or sometimes to affect school-going children. As a result, those children will end up again fall in terms of academic performance and in terms of any other performances. It erodes a child's confidence in terms of everything that the child is good at in terms of co-curriculum and extracurriculum initiatives. So gender-based violence has got also an effect in terms of bringing the upbringing of a child. Right. The other category that I want to talk about is the violence that happens between teaching staff, academic staff, teaching and non-teaching staff. The violence that happens either at home, the teacher is experiencing gender-based violence at home, or the teacher is experiencing gender-based violence at work. That type of violence affects the performance of the teacher or any other staff at school. As a result, it cascades to the performance of a child. The child will not be able to get what he or she is supposed to get from the staff member, because the staff member is experiencing gender-based violence. So as an institution or as a school or as an academic fraternity, what we encourage and what we normally do to counter that, we do guiding and counseling. That is in terms of helping the school-going children to understand why is it bad to engage in gender-based violence, what are the challenges of gender-based violence, how do we best mitigate the gender-based violence, including drama sessions, including things like using music and poetry to portray the effects, the bad effects of gender-based violence. And in terms of those children that are experiencing gender-based violence at home, we try by all means to engage the guardians and the parents, so that we try by all means to eliminate the effect of the gender-based violence to the child. And sometimes where the situation is beyond our control, we engage other stakeholders such as victim-friendly unit from the Zimbabwe Republic Police and other stakeholders, and in terms of the NGO fraternity, to try to help the child, so that the child will not be able to have things like PTSD, that's the post-traumatic stress disorder. We also engage professional psychologists in terms of try to help the child or try to help the parent in terms of solving gender-based violence. In terms of staff, as the academic fraternity staff, we are normally encouraged to talk through the issues where they're experiencing gender-based violence. That's including taking leave when it's necessary or off days, so that the staff member will be able to calm down and settle the issues that are happening, and also engaging again these stakeholders that I've discussed, those are the counsellors and the victim-friendly units from Zimbabwe Republic Police, so that the issue of gender-based violence is totally eliminated from our communities. So let's work together to solve gender-based violence.
I knew there was something acting like you paranoid. The story behind your movement couldn't tell me how you feeling. Was Scotty who's the victim?